So for my service learning experience, I volunteered with the H3 project. And the H3 project, their mission is to combat and end homelessness and human trafficking, here in the DC area, and they do it through a pretty unique approach because they don't take government grants, they just do private grants, and private funding, and so that kind of gives them a less restrictions on how they can operate, so they can give more direct services to the clients. So I volunteered with them, and I shadowed their outreach specialists, and I did a series of trainings about human trafficking, about homelessness, and things in that topic area. So for my course, I connected this to critical issues in justice, and a lot of the different topics we learned about in critical issues in justice were like the juvenile justice system, racial bias, and kind of police-community relations, and how court cases can affect the way that the police and the community interact. And I think that you see a lot of the effects of people who are coming out of the criminal legal system or in the processes of the criminal legal system, whether that be as defendants or as victims. And it's really interesting to see how the criminal legal system has an effect on their lives, not only within incarceration, but also within kind of how that then plays into the outside world and their kind of rehabilitation or lack thereof when they re-enter society.
Hi, I'm Greta Redleaf, and this is my reflection on my service work for my nonviolent struggle and theory and practice class. So I worked for DC Peace Team as an outreach volunteer. DC Peace Team cultivates the habits and skills of nonviolence in our communities so we can better resist injustice and thus build a more sustainable, just peace. The DC Peace Team lives this mission by deploying unarmed civilian protection units, providing training in key nonviolent skills, and facilitating restorative processes and advocacy. I worked with Frances, who is the volunteer and intern coordinator. She is absolutely wonderful. They're so understanding, and they really worked with me to do a lot of the work virtually, a lot of the outreach work virtually, so I could work it in with my schedule. And I still work with Frances about once or twice a week, and I'm going to be working with them more towards the holidays in more of an outreach and in-person capacity. So the main learning objectives was how to interact with peace in my community, which is what we study in my nonviolent course. And so I really took that action and started reaching out to different organizations and explaining, how can we input nonviolence in our community. I practiced these skills by crafting email templates and reaching out to different organizations, such as the All Souls Church, the McKenna Center, even American University, to see if we can get students out on the streets really practicing and preaching nonviolence. And so a lot of the concepts that I learned in class, such as we learned about how to start a nonviolent revolution. I did not do that, but I learned how to, get people together and how to teach people nonviolent strategies and civilian work, which was very nice.
I think my experience was really unique because I was able to go into an area of DC that really was not as privileged as my education background, and I was able to see these students and sort of experience what they see on a daily basis, and it really opened my eyes to just the difference really in education systems depending on where you're located, and the quality of your education really depends on where you go to school, and it's kind of frightening at some points to see. But I think that it was really magical getting those breakthroughs with these students, and whenever I was able to teach them something and you could see the moment that it sort of clicked in their brain. And I thought that was really special. And also being able to just sort of work hands-on somewhere. I was really nervous going into this that I would be doing paperwork for somewhere, but being able to actually teach and work with kids is something that I love to do. And I think that this is an experience that I'll be taking with me for quite a while.
Experience at the Washington English Center was definitely unique. It's probably something that I'm not going to be able to find anywhere or to experience anywhere else, unless I go back to the Washington English Center. That's because I obviously had never taught before, since I'm a full-time student myself, and I just never had the opportunity to do that. So that was definitely something that was new and unique to me. But a factor that was the most special to me, and is the most special to me, is the fact that I'm way younger than these people, and I'm still finding a lot of connections with them. I'm still finding, attempting to find even the right way to communicate, the right way to teach and find new things to do, new activities and everything, and something that will be good for the whole class, which is around an average of the class is 12 students or something like that. So that's not probably something that I'm gonna do over the course of my life a lot, since I don't plan on teaching. That's not something I want to do with my life, but I might decide that I want to go back to the Washington English Center, because it was such a great experience that taught me so much, that had me learn not only about the people that I had in front of me, but also about myself. Since I understood that I can actually handle a class, I need to find the right way to use my words. I need to be more confident when I speak. I need to have the right ethos, the right pathos when I'm in a room, you know? So even public speaking. So that's something unique that the Washington English Center taught me.
Well.
My experience with Hope Multiplied was really cool. I really, really loved working with them. I really thought that building upon the course's information on women's health was really relevant. And it was really great to actually be able to apply that information within the community. I think that public health is one of the areas of study that really requires working within the community. So it was really great to be able to actually use the information learned during class in real-life scenarios. Specifically with Hope, as I said earlier, I created flyers for health information. These flyers primarily focused on breast cancer awareness and diabetes awareness. And so I really worked with the course information on nutrition and exercise and maintaining healthy diets in order to create a sort of flyer that was health literacy, at a health literacy level, that individuals in the community could understand, while also maintaining the sort of professionalism of public health. And it was really great to be able to include the information that we learned in class on nutrition in order to sort of educate the community on things like diabetes and how to avoid diabetes or how to stay healthy while having diabetes. We also, as my class does focus primarily on women's health, and Hope doesn't specifically focus on women's health. However, it was really great to be able to work with specifically a lot of mothers and young girls. The food distributions were primarily attended by mothers and young women, so it was really great to be able to give them information on things like breast cancer awareness as well, which is something that's very prevalent in minority communities, especially around DC.